Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be previewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers preseason week number 3 matchup versus the Baltimore Ravens. Folks, it is the last preseason game of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2023 preseason, and it should be a fun one, right? The Baltimore Ravens actually just had their, I think it was like a 27 game preseason win streak broken last week. And now the Buccaneers are looking to make it 2 in a row. But more importantly than that, however, is that this is where we're finally going to get a chance to see some of the starters go out there and play some football. Todd Bowles had said that the starters are going to be playing in the first half. And I know that there are some people who are wary and cautious of players going out there and sustaining injuries and all those types of things. And, you know, trust me, I really do understand where people are coming from. That is definitely some worries of my own. But there is also something to be said about the idea of guys going out there, getting actual game reps, getting chemistry, and showcasing what they can do. Tristan Wirfs at left tackle, being able to get some live game reps, I think is going to be huge for his overall development. Of course, you have Cody Mock, Luke Gedeke, who are finally going to be going in with the starting offensive line and hopefully building some chemistry there. Baker Mayfield, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers starting quarterback now, is going to be going out there and getting some playing time and building some chemistry with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, Cade Otton, Rashad White. And it's just a good thing to see. That's just the offensive side of things, by the way. By the way. On the defensive side, Vita Vea, Levante David, Devin White, Jamel Dean, Carlton Davis, all the defensive guys that you all know and love are also going to be getting some game time reps, getting some action, getting acclimated and warmed up, if you will, for week number 1 versus the Minnesota Vikings. So there's definitely a lot of merit to say that those guys should be going out there, getting some snaps under their belt, just so that they can be ready to go come week number 1 for the Bucs. But this is also the last chance for guys who are battling for depth chart spots, for roster spots, for practice squad spots, to make an impression on other teams around the league. This is the last chance for those guys. Undrafted free agents, veterans on their last, potentially their last go here for an NFL contract or playing in the NFL. These are the opportunities that are available for these guys. So there's a lot at stake for these guys. I know some people say get rid of the preseason. It doesn't even matter, but it does matter, man. It does. You're giving guys employment for a few weeks, a lot of guys employment for a few weeks. I don't think people really understand, a couple of thousand players get cut throughout this period after the preseason. So guys are completely out of work. So it does matter to these guys. It does matter to make an impact. It does matter to make some money in the short term and potentially set themselves up for long-term work. Of course this matters, man. And I always say this. You never know who is going to make an impact. It could be somebody coming in from another team that goes absolutely crazy and revives their career. Look at Geno Smith. It could be undrafted free agents. Go all the way back. Look at a guy like Arian Foster. These are guys that can come out of nowhere and revive their careers or make a name for themselves, even though they didn't get drafted, and really be productive players, not, potentially just for the team that had scooped them up in the first place, but even going to other teams in the future and getting opportunities for themselves. So, the preseason does matter, man. It does. It matters to me. I think that it's always an important thing to have in the world of the NFL, and it's going to be really interesting and encouraging to see those guys go out there, continue to battle to the absolute end, and maybe some guys will make some opportunities for themselves. And, I'm specifically looking at guys along the offensive line, guys in the secondary, specifically the cornerback room. You also look at, say the wide receiver room, you've got some battles going on there. The running back room, got some battles going on there. There's a lot of positions where the Bucs are still trying to figure out some depth and still have a lot of good guys competing. So yes, it is certainly worth paying attention to. It is certainly worth watching and see what these guys can do to the absolute end. But also, you take a look around the league, you see guys getting cut from other teams. Guess what? The Buccaneers can certainly go in and express interest in these types of guys. Veterans get cut from teams. Undrafted free agents that the Buccaneers may have been interested in get cut from teams. Like there's a lot of opportunity around the league to scoop up some guys who can contribute somewhere down the line for you. People will forget Carl Nassib was a waiver claim for the Bucs from the Cleveland Browns back in the day, and he ended up being a very solid contributor for the team for the next couple of seasons. Like there are guys that can come in and really contribute and build some type of a career for themselves for a couple of years, possibly even longer, in these preseason types of cuts once they join another team. So yeah, don't just pay attention to what the Bucs are doing in the preseason and, you know, the cuts that they make, which we'll be covering a lot of that here on the channel, but also pay attention to what happens around the league also with other, you know, teams making cuts, because some of those guys could end up being Tampa Bay Buccaneers, be it on the practice squad, be it on the active roster, who knows, but it is still plenty of opportunity. So let's pay attention to it, man. Kyle Trask will also be getting some looks here in the second half with the backups. He didn't win the starting quarterback job, but the coaching staff is still very high on, you know, Trask and what he has been able to do, and I think you've seen it, right? You've seen the growth of Trask, what he has been able to do, you know, throughout this offseason. It's the best Trask has looked in his entire career, you know, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think he really did push Baker Mayfield. And I think the coaching staff had even spoken about it being, you know, pretty close some days. Obviously, they went with Baker Mayfield's experience, but Trask definitely showed a lot of growth. And it's going to be interesting to see what the future holds for Kyle Trask. He could be playing this upcoming season, depending on how things go with Baker Mayfield. We will just have to wait and see. But still, it should be good to see Kyle Trask go out there, give it one last hurrah in the preseason before he begins his backup duties and whatnot, and it still is going to be interesting to see the entire bevy list of players that the Buccaneers are going to be having, competing and battling it out till the very end for roster spots and potentially other opportunities in the future. But folks, what do you guys think about this final preseason game? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, folks, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.